morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We take a look at the forecast for April 10th through the 14th. Very quiet in terms of unsettled weather this week, although certainly interesting weather still going on. We are looking at basically a completely dry week, almost no chance of precipitation at all. Next real chance is maybe over the weekend. There does look like there's going to be a front that moves through, maybe more like Sunday into Monday next week, sometime in that time frame. That's probably the next chance at any kind of significant precipitation, even of any kind of precipitation at all. So it's been dry. It's going to be dry. We're going to be warm, slightly above average temperatures the first half of the week, and then way above average temperatures for the end of the week. There's some fire danger involved here in terms of brush fire danger, especially in places that don't have snow yet. So we got a lot to talk about, even though there's not a lot going on in terms of active weather in the kind of traditional sense. So what's going on? This is not an unusual setup. A lot of times in April, we get these setups where we're going to have a pattern that is not moving that much, a blocked pattern. It's very common this time of March tends to be often progressive, but as we kind of make the transition into spring, we get a lot of cutoff lows and things like that. It's pretty typical this time of year. And that's what's sort of starting to happen here. A little hard to see right now. You can't really see it over the southeastern United States, but for really a week and a half, models have been indicating somewhere over the southeast. It's been a little bit undetermined, a little bit up in the air as to where exactly that cutoff low was going to set up. But still very consistent that models are setting up a low pressure system, cutoff low pressure system over the southeastern United States, and then a ridge over the top of it. That creates a Rex block, which is there's a few different types of blocking patterns that happen in the atmosphere. And when you have high pressure or a ridge over a cutoff low situation, or high over low, we call that a Rex block, and that's going to happen this week. And when that happens, you often go days with the weather pattern not really changing much. Everything really starts to slow down. We do have a little bit of a kind of a trough and a front here across the upper Midwest. That is going to mostly, any of the precipitation with it is going to die. It will bring some clouds to our area, as well as tap a little bit of this energy here that's coming up over the top of the ridge out west. For tomorrow and Wednesday. So there'll be more clouds those days instead of the absolute full sunshine that we're going to get today. But then the end of the week, we'll get that full sunshine back. It's also going to hold temperatures down a little bit. Also bring a little bit of, which means the fire danger will be pretty high in some locations. As you can see here, there is not very little of this is actually making it to the ground. The radar looks more impressive, especially this northern fringe of it. There are a few thunderstorms associated kind of with this front here. But this piece here is going to kind of trend off. It's mostly going to go to our north, and there is going to be basically just clouds with it, really no precipitation chance with it at all. Today, you can see we're underneath high pressure. We're full sun today. This will give us a little bit of cloudiness Tuesday, particularly Tuesday afternoon, maybe Wednesday morning, but then and it's just a few clouds. It's really not that big a deal. Let's take a quick look. Before we get to the forecast, wanted to show you, here's the Rex block. This is modeled idea of what's going to happen for Wednesday. This is probably still not a guarantee that this is exactly where that low pressure system, that cutoff low pressure system sets up, but realistically probably somewhere in this area. And you can see the big ridge over the top. This is classic Rex block, almost an omega block too. That's when you get the Greek letter omega sort of showing up, where you've got a low pressure to the on either side, and you kind of get a thing that looks kind of, it dips and goes up over the top. If you know what the Greek letter omega looks like, kind of like a cowboy hat with big brims on the side of it. Anyways, this is kind of inside baseball information for weather. But when you see this happening, you're like, oh, our weather's going to stay stable for several days. Now, that can mean you're stable, but you're in unsettled conditions. So across the Gulf Coast this week, lots of rain, lots of persistent showers, things like that. But for here across the Northeast, it means we're going to be seeing a lot of clear weather, and this is going to also bring just enough, especially at the surface, there's going to be enough of southwesterly flow that we really bring the temperatures up towards the end of the week as well. So let's take a look at that actual forecast. So today, there's basically some fire danger all week, and the fire danger is mostly at location at under about 750 feet, where there's basically been no snow for a little bit. The fire danger will increase everywhere. There is still some snow, although we're losing snow fast, like in the village in Londonderry, where I live. So, and I'm at about 1,000 feet. There's still some snow in places like that. We had so much snow, but even on the drier spots there, and especially the south facing kind of slopes and stuff like that, snow is basically gone. But this will keep it to kind of like what happens is after snow is off the ground, you really only need a day or two of that to happen before like grassy surfaces can have like grass fires kind of issues with brush fires. Takes a little bit longer in the woods, although not that long. I would say everybody's got a chance of having some issues with brush fires by the end of the week, even the higher elevations, because we're just going to warm up and dry out pretty quickly. The highest danger in terms of fires that could spread will be Tuesday and Wednesday, because those are the days there will be some breeze. We're not talking high breezes, but Tuesday afternoon, that's probably the worst time. Definitely a chance we could have some breezes that up in the 20 to even some 30-mile-an-hour gusts on Tuesday afternoon. That can push fire a little bit. So again, if you're in the valley locations, Connecticut River, and you're over Route 7, that area, definitely up and up to Rutland. And if you head up all of the Connecticut River Valley all the way up to like a West Leb area, you definitely have a chance of seeing some of these issues. But even in the areas as you start to head up into the foothills where the snow has been off the ground for a little bit, especially grassy surfaces, you have a chance for that. We head towards the end of the week. The breeze goes away, and we get a little bit more humidity in the air as well. It's going to feel kind of summery at the end of the week. So that pushes the fire danger down a little bit, but still certainly a thing to be considering on Thursday and Friday. So temperatures, right? Upper 50s. This is a bit above average. We're probably mid 50s is our average about this time of year. So a little bit above average the first half of the week. Low temperatures after a chilly morning this morning. We shouldn't go back below freezing for a while now. But then we have the end of the week, though, we're up into the mid 70s, close to 80 on Friday. Some valley locations will hit 80 on Friday. All right, work week highlights, dry week with above average temperatures early in the week, much above average temperatures for the end of the week. Brush fire dangers for areas without snow all week, especially Tuesday and Wednesday. So keep an eye out for that if you're going to make sure you're probably burn bans in most of those communities. So you probably shouldn't be burning at all, but make sure you call your fire warden if you're going to attempt it and listen to them if they say no. Some valley locations will see 80 for the first time this spring on Friday, maybe even on Thursday. And some of the, like Bennington, could definitely see 80 on Thursday even. And warm weather looks to continue into the upcoming weekend. Like I said, we get even more moisture. It's going to feel humid, I think, this weekend with temperatures similar to Thursday and Friday type of temperatures before we do finally get a front that moves us back towards more normal temperatures for this time of year, which looks more likely next week. No big storms even then, just maybe a front that could bring some showers or thunderstorms overnight, maybe Sunday into Monday. So yeah, real stable pattern currently. I will be back on Friday with a look at your weekend forecast. And then next week, I'm away next week. So I don't know what the video situation is going to be. You might get a video on Monday. It'll be a different kind of setup if you do. Or you might I might just post some text on on my Facebook page. But yeah, but this week is pretty normal. You'll get a weekend forecast on Friday morning. All right. Thanks for joining me, and we will be back on Friday.